BATJAC J.W. here. You know, I was sitting around and I got to thinking. I did a video some time back and we stacked up perhaps what is known as the Detective Special Copy, the Rock Island Armory M206, and we stacked it up against some of these other snubbies here. But we haven't actually brought these really to a head and put them both on the table and kind of looked at the differences. Now, I am a little biased, I'll let you know that right away. But now what we have here is actually two of my two snubbies that have been in my collection for a long time, the longest perhaps. This one is the first one I ever owned. It's a Model 10, and this one is definitely a very near and dear piece for me. The Model 10 snubby, again, I'll tell you, I'm a bit biased, so but I love the Smith and Wesson. And now we're talking about 6 shots. You know, most snubbies are, you know, snub nose revolvers. They only hold 5. This one holds 6. It's 38 special. It's an older one, not quite as old as I got one that's even older than this, but this one's a little ways back. It's a pin barrel. Even though it's a 38, it does not count. They don't countersink the cylinders. They only did that on the Magnums, but this one is old enough to where they pin the barrel. It's a -5, so that means the 5th generation of changes. The older one I have is actually a pre-Model 10, where the hammer's a little bit different and the sight's a little bit different, but you know, kind of give you a nice profile. It's a big fistful of iron, definitely, and beautiful wood and all that. You know, you gotta love that gorgeous wood that I absolutely love. Something kind of got smudged on it or whatnot. Haven't had these things out for a while. They kind of remain in the safe. All right, let's move on over. Colt Detective Special. This one here, really neat old gun. This is actually the last one that I own. You can see it's been actually out of my possession for a little while. It was over at my friend's film company. So I got it back, and I figured, you know, another reason to throw a video together with it. But this first little Colt revolver I bought, really, and I just kind of wanted it because it was iconic. It's classic. It's got the classic lines on it and everything. This is a very early one with the ejector rod. Just kind of free floats out there, you know, just kind of floats around there. It doesn't have any kind of shroud. The later model, or the generation 2 or whatnot, I'm not a virtuoso at it. Mr. Wikipedia will probably tell you. The shroud, they added a little shroud over here that sits in the part of the barrel, and it kind of captures that a little bit so it doesn't take a knock. One thing about and then now it is a 6 shot as well. It is, this one here is 6 shots, and it's a D frame. That's the Colt designation for it, the D frame. It's otherwise the same frame size Diamondback, one of the snake guns. And there's also the Cobra like this. So there's different variations of this one in particular, but this one here is the original Detective Special, I guess you could say. It's kind of cool because if you like the old black and white films like with Bogart and all that, this is kind of what you see. A lot of those. Really neat, real basic revolver, really basic. So of course the release latch, the Colt, you got to pull them and pop them up. The cylinder rotates clockwise, and Smith, which is I think a lot better, you push the release and you can pop it out even just like that. And then the cylinder rotates counterclockwise. So kind of interesting, but overall it's the Smith is a little bit larger to me, my opinion. Smith is a little bit larger. The grip is a lot more beefy. This is known as a square butt grip. This one's more their own style, even though it is kind of squared off, but it's also a full frame grip on this one. Some of them are half frames. They only came about halfway, and then the bottom just kind of, the grip itself kind of wraps over. I've seen those, and I have my uncle's 38 Colt that he had gifted to me before I left, and I still have it. Obviously, it's an heirloom, but his is like that. But kind of interesting to have those side to side, and of course the sights are. But what's cool about the old Colt is, well, I mean, you got the name, it's a Colt. Popeye Doyle, if you're a fan of the French Connection like me, it's kind of neat, because it's part of that. But my choice is the Smith & Wesson. I just like them. I like them a lot better. I like the way they operate. They're smooth, everything about them. They're beefy. In this one, without a doubt. And of course, it's big old nice logo right there and everything like that. So some people find it just crazy to see them both on the table and all that. So, but mainly wanted to just kind of bring them out, bust them out for the video, have you guys to get a nice look at them and everything like that. So I definitely like the little snub nose revolvers. Always have. There's something really cool about them. That could be, perhaps, I watch a lot of really old school hard-boiled type movies, cop movies, 70s, that kind of stuff, and this is just so iconic for all that. So I appreciate you watching and hanging out right here at BATJAC J.W.